Just 2 days before a crucial all-party meeting on Naya Kashmir that is to be chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and which is happening at his initiative in Delhi with Jammu and Kashmir parties, PDP chief, former chief minister and a former partner and ally of the BJP in J&K, Mehbooba Mufti has once again batted for Pakistan. She's done it before, and now right before a crucial all-party meeting on the way forward for Naya Kashmir, Mehbooba once again sings Pakistan's tune, asking the centre if they can speak to the Taliban, then why not Pakistan? This comes on a day when the Gupkar Alliance confirmed its participation in the all-party meeting. Here's what happened.
जम्मू कश्मीर में डायलॉग करें और सबके साथ करें और पाकिस्तान के साथ भी करें रेजोल्यूशन के लिए.
The open pandering to Pakistan in return for the centre's olive branch. Mehbooba Mufti singing the Pakistan tune ahead of Prime Minister Modi's all-important all-party talks on Thursday, raising questions on the viability of this entire exercise.
न सिर्फ जम्मू कश्मीर या हमारे मुल्क के अंदर बल्कि पूरे खिते में तो इसके बगैर कोई चारा नहीं है.
क्लियर कर दिया, नो
कॉम्प्रोमाइज ऑन दैट. और डायलॉग की बात हमसे डायलॉग कर रहे हैं. हम कहते हैं कि ये दोहा जाके तालिबान से डायलॉग कर रहे हैं. आपने सुना होगा हमारी गवर्नमेंट. तो जम्मू कश्मीर में डायलॉग करें और सबके साथ करें और पाकिस्तान के साथ भी करें रेजोल्यूशन के लिए.
Mehbooba Mufti advocating talks with the principal tormentors of Kashmiris. Even as Pakistan continues to send in terrorists to bleed Kashmiris. On Monday, 3 Lashkar terrorists who killed several politicians and policemen were killed in an encounter. The BJP questioned the locus standi of Pakistan in internal matters of India, especially at a time when an all-important, all-party meet for a Naya Kashmir is on the table.
भारत ने हमेशा से ही अपने पड़ोसी देशों के साथ बातचीत की है. भारत के सभी देशों के साथ, दुनिया भर के देशों के साथ हमारे बहुत अच्छे संबंध हैं, लेकिन राष्ट्र की एकता और अखंडता हमारे लिए सर्वोत्तम है.
The Gupkar Alliance, which accepted Modi's invitation, is also hardening its stand on return to J&K's statehood and revoked special status.
पीपल्स अलायंस का जो एजेंडा है, जिसके लिए हमने ये अलायंस बनाया हुआ है, जो हमसे छीना गया है, हम उस पे बात करेंगे कि ये आपने गलती की है, ये इलीगल रहा है, ये अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल है. इसको बहाल किए बगैर जम्मू कश्मीर का मसला और जम्मू कश्मीर के हालात और इस पूरे खित्ते में आप अमन बहाल नहीं कर सकते.
The PAGD, all the constituents of PAGD and the people of Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh, they stand by that declaration that restoration of 370 and 35A is a must.
Earlier, National Conference patron Farooq Abdullah led the Gupkar strategy meeting, asserting that the group will put its stand before the Prime Minister on Thursday.
हमें उम्मीद है कि हम अपने जो मौक़िफ़ है उसको वहाँ पे वज़ीर आज़म साहब और होम मिनिस्टर साहब के सामने रखें.
Many of the Gupkar leaders felt increasingly sidelined after the centre revoked Jammu and Kashmir's special status. Are they now reopening old wounds when the valley is trying its level best to keep its troubled past behind? With Ashraf Wani and Shujaul Haq in Srinagar, Bureau Report, India Today. So the Gupkar Alliance has agreed to attend this all-party meeting that's been called by the Prime Minister that's happening on June 24th. That's this Thursday. But what is this all-party meeting really all about? What's on the table? What's on the agenda? What is up for discussion? Number one, it's going to be a discussion on the proposed delimitation exercise in J&K, which is already underway right now. And the National Conference, remember, has so far boycotted all of these delimitation exercise meetings. The second point of the agenda is restarting the political process in the Union Territory of J&K, which has virtually come to a halt since August 2019 following the abrogation of Article 370. The meeting is also intended to take all of the parties, the PDP, the National Conference and others, on board before holding elections in the Union Territory, which will be taking place after the delimitation exercise. So those are the three broad points. Of course, there will be other things as well. And remember, the PDP and the National Conference in their press conference today have said that they will be absolutely obdurate in their demands as far as a rollback on the decision to remove special status in Jammu and Kashmir. But why is the Prime Minister's J&K meet so significant at this particular time? There is no understating the significance of it. Jammu and Kashmir is an important part of the country. It's the first major political outreach by the Modi government after the abrogation of Article 370 in August 2019. It is intended at resuming the electoral process in Jammu and Kashmir. It can't keep going without an electoral process. It's important that it happens. It comes at a time when the trust deficit is at its peak between the Kashmir Valley and the government in Delhi. There is a great deficit of trust, and it will also look to bridge the gap between the Valley Unionists and the centre. There is a deficit, there is a gap, it is unsustainable politically and otherwise, and it needs to be bridged. But today's discussion will also focus on one particular comment that was made by Mehbooba Mufti, a former chief minister, a former coalition ally of the BJP in a government in Jammu and Kashmir, a person who has relentlessly attacked the central government over what's been happening in Kashmir, and now a person, after agreeing to be part of that all-party meeting, saying the government should talk to all stakeholders, including Pakistan, triggering the question, why even drag in Pakistan when this is an Indian all-party meeting regarding Naya Kashmir? Why this obsession with involving Pakistan at this point of time? The questions we're asking right now. Why try and sabotage a critical political outreach by invoking Pakistan? You can say what you want. You can say practical, you can say India is talking to Taliban, but in this particular issue, where is the need to bring in Pakistan when this is a carefully constructed all-party meeting that has had a difficult birthing process? Number two, is Mehbooba Mufti pandering to Pakistan out of some kind of political compulsions? Is Mehbooba Mufti still appeasing the pro-Pakistan constituency in the Kashmir Valley? And remember, this is not something she said for the first time. She said it before. Is Mufti's pro-Pakistan tune a desperate bid to somehow embarrass, the centre, throw a little bit of a googly before the all-party meet? And has the Modi government failed really to create an alternative to Jammu and Kashmir Dynasty? And that's the reason why the compulsions to involve the Gupkar alliance in such a big way in this all-party meet. A lot of realpolitik at play, a lot of practical matters at play, but what Mehbooba Mufti has said today, really laying bare the complexities in any discussions and negotiations going forward. Joining me live, Neeti Jain, spokesperson of the BJP, Firdaus Tak, spokesperson of the PDP, Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni, who's former Chief of Staff of the 14 Corps, a hero officer of Siachen, person who served extensively in the valley. Firdaus, Neeti and General Kulkarni, welcome to all of you. Thank you for your time and for being with me on this show. Firdaus, I'd like to start with you. Important day today. The parties are going to be meeting with the Prime Minister in a couple of days from now. And many people are wondering why Ms. Mufti, who has said this before as well, she's criticized the government on many relevant issues in the recent past as well, at a time when this entire all-party meeting has had a difficult birthing process. Where was the need to say, talk to all stakeholders, including Pakistan?
Well, see, there are two aspects of the statement made by Ms. Mehbooba Mufti. One is with regard to the invitation extended by the Prime Minister to hold all-party meeting to discuss Jammu and Kashmir. The agenda which you have just right now said,
yes,
that it's about Naya Kashmir. We have no information about that. the information we have is that Prime Minister wants to discuss Jammu and Kashmir, and she has happily accepted the invitation like all other constituents of the Gufkar Alliance. And she has also assured her people that accepting the invitation doesn't mean that she will be compromising with the core issue for which the PDP is contesting. And with regard to the second part of her statement, which you are referring, is that the government of India should hold negotiations with Pakistan. I think it's time that we should start listening and understanding the difficult ground situation in Jammu and Kashmir. You may say anything to the country, but situation has not changed and it will not change in Jammu and Kashmir. Talking to Pakistan should not be seen something which is very difficult, because the same government, the government of India right now, is in deliberation with Pakistan, is holding backdoor channel, and this is because of it is the outcome of this negotiation that we are seeing the peace on borders right now. We have been saying it time and again that Pakistan is an important part when we talk about peace in Jammu and Kashmir.
Stakeholder,
without bringing Pakistan into the picture, we cannot ensure peace. We have seen it. That is a practical difficulty we are facing in Jammu and Kashmir. Time and again you are saying that Pakistan is responsible. Pakistan is responsible for whatever is happening in Jammu and Kashmir. And again you are saying that we are not going to hold negotiation with Pakistan. Then how the situation is going to change?
I'm glad you brought out the point that back channel the talks are happening between India and Pakistan, because that is actually true. But the question I am asking you, Firdaus, is a little simpler than that. Yes, these things are happening. I'm saying you're saying that Mehbooba Mufti is happy to attend this meeting, but it seemed like, by saying, talk to the stakeholders, Pakistan, why couldn't something like that happen during the meeting? It seemed like when Mehbooba Mufti says it out loud in public, it seems like it's designed to provoke and to queer the pitch before these talks.
Why should there be a difference of opinion when you are holding discussion behind the doors and in public? You have to accept
simply because Pakistan is a sponsor of terror.
We have been saying this, that we have to talk to Pakistan in order to resolve Jammu and Kashmir. But
no, sir,
you have called us pro-Pakistan, you have called us pro-ISI. We have been called that we are being sponsored by ISI. But at the same time, the same government and the same party and the same people are holding discussion with Pakistan. Why this concept of negotiation,
there are
peace
back
talks
channel
and
discussions happening, but they're not happening at the national security advisors level or the diplomatic level.
To this,
no, I take your point, Firdaus. I take your point, but the fact is, calling for Pakistan to be involved in these discussions and condemning Pakistan for not stopping its terrorism are two completely different things. We hear one thing, we don't hear the other as much. Niti, the BJP, the government is going to be holding these talks.
You don't want to hear. You are listening to what you have been told to listen.
No.
You don't recognize us to be the representative of people. The same people have been calling us name Gufkar gang, pro-Pakistan,
we don't do that.
And now
we don't do that.
Calling us to discuss Jammu and Kashmir.
Firdaus, you may be mistaking us for a different channel. Firdaus, you may be mistaking us for a different channel. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. We report from Kashmir. I have travelled and reported from Kashmir throughout my career. I would not even for a moment say that I know more about Kashmir than you or the others. But let me say with the greatest of respect, this is a delicate issue. We recognize it, and we recognize that all voices need to be heard. But at the point of Pakistan, things become a little complicated because we are a sovereign country that needs to deal with our issues. We don't need to acknowledge any other stakeholders when an all-party meeting is taking place here in India. That's the point. You can continue to say back-channel talks, Firdaus, but the point is right now diplomatic on-the-table discussions with Pakistan are not taking place at any level. Niti, go ahead. What would you like to say? Because at the end of the day, this all-party meeting is going to happen.
The point is that the PDP, including Ms. Mufti, they have been saying we have a back channel talk with Pakistan, or we are trying to talk to Taliban. These are all international matters. This is about international policy. We're not talking to anybody for anything that needs to be done in this country. Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of this country.
Yeah.
We're not going to go and talk to Pakistan about what needs to be done in Jammu and Kashmir to take it forward. You're saying we don't recognize you. So the reason you have been invited to this meeting is because you are recognized. You have been important parties
You've
in
been partners.
the state. You have been, obviously. And that is the reason you have been called to these meetings. But the problem is that if you keep on harping on the same band again and again, where are we talking about Naya Pakistan? The center is, they have said, and we are resolved, we are committed that we want to take the election process forward. We want to get the statehood back. But again, where are the circumstances? Where is that movement from your end? You are saying there is no difference. You are saying there is no development that has happened in Jammu and Kashmir in the past 2 years. So this was the first time, and this was coming from a journalist yesterday I was on a debate with. He said this is for the first time that Kashmir has seen snow and electricity together. That is the difference that has come in, the development, the investment that has gone in, the terrorism has gone down, the youth recruitment has gone down. So if you can't see all of those things, just because you're wearing blinkers and you don't want to see anything apart from Pakistan, that is your issue.
No,
But obviously you're not on the same page.
Firdaus, I'll come to you in a moment, because it's the tone of voice. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and direct how politicians should speak. They are, Mehbooba Mufti is a credible, respected politician in Kashmir, and she has the right to say what she wants. My question is about intent. By, naming Pakistan as a stakeholder in an already complicated issue, which has, gone back to square one at the smallest of provocations, one has to always question what was the need to do that at a time when you've got this elaborate outreach as far as Naya Kashmir is concerned. Bringing in General Kulkarni on this. General Kulkarni, I mean, I can imagine you must be watching these proceedings with a sense of deja vu and exasperation also, that you've got an effort to try and normalize things once more. But on the ground, at the end of the day, the politics will hold everything hostage. How do you think this one's going to play out, sir?
Chef, thank you. Firstly, I spent some time just recently, about a month and a half back, for the Tulip Festival, and I was absolutely so happy to see things, total normalcy. What I could talk about, traveling from the airport right to the site and seeing things for myself, going down to the shopping centers, seeing all the shops full, people moving around. Things are looking absolutely normal and look as if it was really a Naya Kashmir that we are talking about. Having said that, let me be honest to tell you that even now, when the talks are to be on the 24th of June, you find that Jammu-centric parties are also feeling cut off, that they are not being represented as much as the Kashmir-centric parties are being represented. One, and what they are saying again and again is that the people who are masquerading as supposedly separatists and part separatists, these kind of mindsets seem to be visible. Now you find Qureshi from Pakistan seem to be talking what Taliban is representing Taliban, and you find Mehbooba Mufti in India talking what Pakistan wants to do. This is something which is not acceptable. First and foremost, because Pakistan has been using terrorism as an instrument of state policy. We know that for sure. We have the Financial Action Task Force wanting Pakistan to get into a blacklist, if not continue with the grey list, primarily because of money laundering and terror funding. A state which is doing that. We are wanting our own politicians to say that we must talk to Pakistan. They are nobody. We are all Indians, and we talk about what is within our country, and at whatever they wish to convey what they want to the Prime Minister, they are welcome to do so. What the Prime Minister needs to tell them, he will be telling them all. So what you refer to, if there's a trust deficit, that trust deficit must be removed. Bringing in another country which has done nothing but spreading terrorism, I think it is wrong. She should not have said this, and definitely it's something unbecoming of a politician at that level. She's a real good politician. She was the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir. To talk with Pakistan, why Pakistan? Because we are the talks up of be able to talk to them to bring in normalcy, which is already there, to start a political process for which I'm sure the Prime Minister would be wanting to talk to them. Not what she has said. I think it is wrong. If I see it as a citizen, it is wrong.
Firdaus, how would you respond to that?
See, with due respect to the Army General, I think it's saying that I visited Kashmir when the Tulip Garden was operational and I saw normalcy in Kashmir. It's like a sick patient on ventilator and then saying that he's completely stable and he's breathing. You have to understand, peace in Jammu and Kashmir has always been a delicate matter. There has always been
just a small
undercurrent
interjection.
unrest
General
and
Kulkarni
the
has
people.
served in the valley.
Just let me complete. Just let me complete. Just let me complete.
He's a Shaurya Chakra award winner for
Bharatiya
Siachen
Janata
as
Party
well. He
and
knows
the
the
present
state.
dispensation has been telling the world and this country that we are bringing peace to Jammu and Kashmir by holding municipal elections. We are bringing peace by holding panchayat elections. We are bringing peace by holding DDC elections. And the last but not least, they said that we are bringing peace to Jammu and Kashmir by abrogation of 370. And believe me, come visit Jammu and Kashmir, nothing has changed. Things are worse than they were 2 years back. The alienation among the youth has increased. The violence has increased. The anger has increased among the people. If you want to hold meetings, you have to serve wazwan and tea to the people of Jammu and Kashmir, the politician of Jammu and Kashmir. It will change nothing. If you really want to change something in Jammu and Kashmir, then you should start listening to the people. You should start finding out a solution. And the solution is the solution which has been formulated by People's Democratic Party, that you have to address internal and external dimension of Jammu and Kashmir. If you really want to resolve Jammu and Kashmir, if you really want to bring peace not only to Kashmir but to the entire subcontinent, we have to address these things, and we have to accept the realities on the ground.
I respect that view, but you know, I have a feeling that there is an unnecessary complication of what should be a pretty simple issue. The overall issue is complicated, there's no doubt. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say I know more about you than this. But as far as Pakistan is concerned, let's simplify the Pakistan issue. As far as Pakistan is a sponsor of terror against India, that has gone down somewhat right now, but not, to the points of which India is satisfied to restart dialogue. Why would that even be on the table as a issue of discussion?
So
and when you say that the government,
possible? You are yourself claiming that
Firdaus,
that
one second. Let me
Pakistan
complete my
involvement
point.
has reduced.
Firdaus,
That involvement has reduced only because of back-channel diplomacy.
Let me make a point.
We are holding discussions with them.
So that's a progressive issue. That's an ongoing issue. That's an ongoing issue. My point is, you're contradicting yourself.
We don't want Pakistan on the table because we want to accede to Pakistan. We want Pakistan as a part of the dialogue process so that things are improved in Jammu and Kashmir.
But Firdaus, you've just contradicted yourself. Just contradicted yourself.
For 70 years, there were all the talks that were going on. What was happening then?
You're
and
saying
right
that the
now,
government is not listening to you.
So you think
Jammu and Kashmir,
you think
today
it
you
was
want to bring Pakistan back
it was
to
the
the
mandate
table.
of this state government to talk to Pakistan? Do you think it was the mandate of this state government to talk to Pakistan?
Firdaus, you've contradicted yourself.
Has it ever been the mandate of the state government to talk to the neighboring country?
But no, one second.
On where you have to start.
You are yourself claiming that Pakistan is responsible. If Pakistan is responsible, you have to talk to them and make them to stop these things to happen in Jammu and Kashmir.
No. I'm sorry, I can't agree with that.
Pakistan is responsible.
There has been. Are you trying to say talks have not happened on terrorism? Come on, Firdaus. You're talking like as if talks haven't happened with Pakistan on the issue of terror in the past. I covered the 26/11 terror attacks. I've covered what happened in Pathankot. We've seen what happened in Pakistan. One second. Okay, no crosstalk.
When we are saying that talk to Pakistan, we are Deshdrohis.
No. The reason, there's a reason. There's a distinction.
We are suggesting we are
There's a distinction. There's a distinction.
Spokesperson of Pakistan instead of a spokesperson of an Indian party.
There's a distinction. What priority is there to say talk to everyone, talk to Pakistan?
We will resolve Jammu and Kashmir as
part
of the neighboring country.
Firdaus, let me highlight something. With respect, without any shouting, without any raising of voices, let me make a small point.
Issue and it has to be addressed politically.
Firdaus, a very small point, and I will humbly and respectfully submit it, which is this. You've just contradicted yourself, Firdaus. You've said that the government should listen to us, listen to our people. What else is this all-party meeting about? That's my point. If you've got this outreach, it represents an opportunity to listen to the forces and the people on the ground, the leaders on the ground. In such an atmosphere of outreach, of possible goodwill. We all live in hope. We want the bad things of the past to remain behind us. In such an atmosphere, where is the need to bring in Pakistan and label it as a stakeholder? Am I right or am I wrong, General Kulkarni? That is my limited point.
Chair, at this point of time, when Pakistan again and again is saying restoration of Article 370 is a must for talks, and here is a political party of ours which is saying that talk to Pakistan. What does it mean? The restoration of Article 370 is impossible. It is abrogated and is for good. There is no question of
no going back.
Anything. 70 or 35A. That's not done. And here, you're insisting on talking to Pakistan. Who is not talking? That is why you find ceasefire is there now, primarily after the 25th of February, because there have been talks going on. So where they need to talk, yes, but for this particular talk piece between the state politicians and the Prime Minister, there is requirement of Pakistan was not there. I think it was a wrong move. And to compare with Taliban, where is Taliban?
Yeah, there's no comparison of the two things.
And here in Pakistan, there is the fund collection is going on for Taliban. And all these kind of, it gives a wrong signal, altogether a wrong signal. I think they should have just gone to the Prime Minister, had their talk, given their heart out of what they thought about it. But the Prime Minister would have told them, and the Home Minister and the central leaders would have been there to be able to talk to them.
And also, as I bring this discussion to an end, it seems like some of the things said. No, there is no question that the parties involved have all said they were sticking to their stand. That should be respected. They've stuck to their stand. They've said that they will not move on their demand for a rollback of the decision to abrogate Article 370 and reimpose special status. But the fact is, when you've got a meeting of this kind, are you, with these comments, forewarning or pre-deciding the outcome of these all-party meetings by already putting a spanner in the works? Is one of the thoughts I will leave our viewers with. Thank you very much, Firdaus, Neeti and General Kulkarni. Pleasure to have you here with me on this show. Quick break here on 5 Live. Coming up next, a shocking